Hey YouTube, what's going on? My name is Badfish and this is Gone Gaming. Welcome to the beautiful city of San Pedro. And if you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. Again, my name's Badfish. I typically do Cities Skylines builds here on YouTube, mostly modded and very detailed. So if that sounds like something you'd be into, definitely check out my channel. It'll be linked in the description below and a pinned comment. And if you like what you see, definitely subscribe. I think we're making some cool stuff. I typically post like 3 to 4 times a week, so definitely check it out. But today, guys, we are back in San Pedro proper, so the actual big city, or at least the start of it that we've been working on. I did some road expansion off camera, but we are going to start expanding out our residential area a little bit. I think once it's all said and done, we add like 6,000 or 7,000 people, and then by the time I was done with kind of what I did off camera too, I think I was up to like 43,000. So we had like 10,000 people in this episode, and hopefully it looks pretty good. Hopefully it looks interesting and the expansion is worthwhile. But let me know down below what you guys think. So right now, all I'm doing is just building out that little like midtown that I was building a few episodes ago. So I'm gonna start expanding into more dense suburbs now. So we're gonna be using these San Francisco houses I just got off the workshop. They're very new. They're just like the San Francisco Italian notes. They look really good for this. So we're gonna kind of put them down just like you see me doing now. I'm going to do a quick jump cut because I didn't want to bore you with just placing down bumps of houses. So we're going to jump now, and here is the bit of detailing I wanted to just show you. So I did go through on all the blocks and put down those little trees with the planters and some different kind of landscaping with the same kind of gum trees and stuff. I'll show you a bit of that landscaping as it regards to this high school that we're building right now. So you'll see kind of the same principles of landscaping I used in those suburbs, so you don't miss much. So we're just painting in the concrete of the suburbs and the parking lots and things like, or not the suburbs of the high school and the parking lots and things like that, just to know where the concrete's going to be. And then I wanted to go through and, like I said, do the same kind of landscaping I just did. So what I've been doing a lot, since San Pedro is supposed to be an arid climate, I'm using a lot of like arid shrubs and bushes, and then just a couple of kinds of trees on top of that, more kind of, you know, loose leaf trees. They're not very leafy or anything like that, but they look very nice, I think, as it applies to an arid climate. Let me know what you guys think down below, but I think it looks good. And we're just putting in a bunch of trees to start with. I have a problem where I need to put down a bunch and then I can see natural growth patterns when I subtract, so I do go in and delete a whole bunch of stuff to make it look a little bit more realistic in my eye, because it was just looking like big blocks of trees. So we're going to do another jump cut because I had a lot more landscaping to do, and we're going to go ahead and start working on some of the parking lots and a little bit more details of the actual space of the high school itself. So I just wanted to add in some, you know, different details to the high school as far as like congregation areas for students to hang out in. We have that big track and field, so I wanted to kind of like box that in. So we're going to go ahead and add some fences. I talk about this in the live play, but it's not like I'm fencing in the entire high school. A lot of high schools in the US, you'll have like kind of just these random fences along, you know, like tree lines or along towards the highway. I mean, I'm sure partially for security, but to be honest with you, anyone can jump over those fences or walk around them. It's more just to keep out pests. So that's kind of what I did there. I just kind of put it alongside where the tree line is and where like some openings are, just to kind of delineate the high school from the rest of the area. And we're going to go through here, and this kind of looks like an offshoot of a cafeteria, so I wanted to go ahead and put down a bunch of tables and chairs for students to eat at. I put down a whole way too many. In just a second here, we're going to do a cut of me putting in umbrellas, and then I'm going to go ahead and just kind of cut down the amount of tables out there because it was too much. It was looking too bunched up. And then, of course, just some trash cans and stuff, because you need a place to throw out your lunch, especially if it's, you know, the crappy leftover meat day. Then you need to throw out your lunch immediately. And then over here we have a little elementary school attached to the high school, so I wanted to again add a little place for them to eat lunch, but then a little playground, because life is much more fun when you're a child, so you get to play during your breaks. So I wanted to pop down a playground for the kids to hang out in and have some fun in. And you know, I don't have any like special props for that, just using kind of vanilla stuff. And then just putting in some trees in the planters just to again flesh out the space a little bit more. And moving on from that, we're just going to add a little parking lot over here to this little apartment complex I made. A big thing with American cities that you'll find is car parks are everywhere. So I'm definitely lacking on my car park, so I need to add a little bit more. Like, even the amount that I put in is not enough. There is just too many. There's parking lots everywhere in America. So I'm not going to try to do that level of realism, because half my city would be car lots, and I don't think that's fun to look at, but I do need to add some more. And now we're just going to be fencing in our little areas over here. So this is our kind of municipal center with the police and the fire station right next to each other. So we're just putting some fences down on it, kind of delineating where their parking lots are going to be. So I kind of extended out their footprint a little bit with surface painter using the concrete. And in those areas, we're going to do some like parking for the municipal areas and things like that. So you'll see in a second here, we'll go ahead and put down some parking lots and police cars. So I just wanted them to have like a protected place to put their police cars and stuff like that. And then same thing on the other side, we're going to go through and make a little parking lot for fire trucks and things like that. And I didn't add it on this side with the the police parking, but with the fire parking, I put like some civilian vehicles to show that, like, they're people too. They're coming through and parking here and, doing their thing. So we're going to go through and just, again, add some more gates to the fences and things like that, just to open it up a little bit and make sure there's clear paths for the fire engines to get in and out of. And then back through here, once again, we're just going to go ahead and build out a nice little parking lot for some detail. And I got a cool pack of like fire EMS trucks that add a little bit of variety to this place back here. So where I was just doing parking lots with just the police cars on the other side, I do get some fire engines, as you see right here. They look really nice. They're really highly detailed. Honestly, they're beautiful. They're a beautiful asset. So I love them. And then on this other part, we are going to go through with some different like EMS and like smaller kind of fire official trucks. So they're going to be the bright red in color, and just like pickup trucks, EMS trucks, sedans, etc., and like a couple of ambulances. And then, like I said, the civilian parking as well, so just for when they bring their cars over. And then just adding some planters over here, because why not? I mean, just because it's a police station doesn't mean it can't have some planters. So just popping those in, and some EMS props or a little bit of added realism. And then, of course, just the decals on top of that, just to rough it up and make the space look a little generally more interesting and more realistic, because there's no such thing as pristine concrete. Definitely not in a city with how much use of foot traffic and car traffic. You aren't going to have that. There's going to be cracks and gunk and stuff like that. So again, same principle, just using it on the high school over here, just adding in that gunk, making it look a little nasty, making the cracks look good. I like having those filled in cracks, and then right on the periphery of the filled in cracks, adding some more, newer cracks. So maybe those cracks kept forming even after they put in the asphalt, things like that. Just trying to come up with like stupid details that honestly no one will really notice other than me. But it makes me a little happy to know that, those cracks are forming into new ones, or they couldn't fill in everything, because just like a real life municipal system, there's some flaws in San Pedro. I don't know. I just think it's fun to come up with those little stories and things. And, you can make story even out of the dirt on the ground. And just to finish out this build, we are going to build out a park. And I also wanted to have this metro station pretty preeminent. So I put this down, put some planters around it. It's right next to the high school, but of course, right down the way, we have some other things going on as far as like the mall and stuff. So I think it's kind of like a central stop for, the high school and the mall and this kind of whole side of San Pedro. I think it looks great. I really like the glass. You'll see on the Liveplay, you can see the trains coming through it, and it's a cool asset. It's just pretty. And so, like I said, we are going to build a little park just to kind of finish things out. It's pretty simple. I didn't do anything crazy with this park. I'm just fencing it in with these cool fences, these cool park fences I got off the workshop. I think they're really pretty. I think they fit the West Coast theme really good, because they're kind of that like stucco kind of, motif to them. So there is obviously, like you just saw as I was fixing things up, some clipping in there and some wonkiness with like some of the pillars, but honestly, at the end of the day, that's okay. It's a happy little accident. Things happen. You can't make everything flush, and that's all right. Don't kill yourself trying to do that. That's one thing I've learned. So we're going to go ahead and connect through that park here. put in just some simple park life buildings, nothing crazy, just, you know, gazebo, cafe, info, toilet, all that good stuff, just so it's usable in the game context. And then we are going to go through and just do some simple little bits of landscaping. So if you watched my beach episode, I picked up from a Flux Trans tutorial just doing cluster landscaping. So that's what I'm going to do on this area. You'll see me kind of make a little cluster of trees and shrubs and stuff right now. That's going to be my base model. So we're going to take all of this and move it, hit Control C to copy it, and then just go and put down in chunks. This has helped me a lot to, you know, kind of delineate natural growth patterns and make things honestly less put together, and I think less filled up. So as you'll see right now, it looks pretty filled, but what I like to do is I go through first and clean it all up, of course, on the fence, but then we will go through and just clean it all up using like deleting and things like that. But this is just gonna about do it for this time lapse, so I'm gonna let the music play out and I'll see you on the other end. Oh, hey guys, didn't see you there. Welcome to the other side of the time lapse where things are a little bit slower and less apt to give you motion sickness. So, I hope you like that time lapse build, guys. I think we came up with some cool stuff for sure. Just looking at it, looking at the city kind of expanding, I think it's looking real nice, looking real good. So, let's just go through some of the little projects that we did today. So, we got a couple, we're looking at one right now. Of course, this is our nice kind of inner city high school. It's gigantic, not as big as that mall back there, but pretty big. So it takes up a good amount of space, but I think it looks nice, just kind of juxtaposed to everything. Look at all that empty space over there. That's gross. Let's also just turn up. Let's go to like the middle of the day. That's a little bit better. We can see more now. So here's the high school. We got this cool little track and field. I fenced off parts of it just kind of along main roads and things, not the whole thing because you still want to be able to enter and stuff. So just kind of like a semblance of security. I feel like a lot of high schools have that, like they'll have fenced in parts and then the rest of it's not fenced in at all. So it's like, you know, more to keep pests out than people. So that's kind of what I did there. People are just kind of walking through it anyway, so it's not going to get people out anyway, so that's fine. But did a little bit of landscaping and stuff. Had these trees kind of coming along the back side of these houses over here. Have the little elementary school attached to it, and I like that they follow the same motif. These are both by King Leno. I think it's the Manassas High School and the Hayes Elementary School, but they look great. Have a little like playground back here for the kiddies to hang out in. And we're using some new houses too. I don't know the creator. I probably should. I'll look that up before the next episode. But somebody is making a San Francisco pack right now in the workshop. So I jumped on those real quick and started plopping them down. I think they look really nice. Obviously, they fit the West Coast motif real good as well. And then over here we have an awesome metro station. Yes, there's a train going through right when I'm filming. Awesome. That's the holy grail right there. Thank you, train. I appreciate you. Anyway, we have this little metro station here. I really like it. I like having the see-through platform and stuff, and just did some pretty simple detailing around it. But I think also with the fence from the park that I put down, it looks awesome. It looks so good. I think it's a cool little space right here for this little metro park. Then we just have our little simple park here, mostly just natural landscaping, nothing crazy, just a couple gazebos. And just kind of our houses still spreading around, and then our little municipal center down here. So we have our police station coming through here with the parking for the police cars out back, and then our fire station over here. So we have the parking for the actual station here. We have some extra parking out back with just different EMS trucks and some more fire engines that are all the same number, so don't pay attention to that. But overall, I think we did some cool stuff here today. We expanded it out. I think we added like 10,000 people just in this part. So here's kind of the city proper that we have so far. So again, this is like our midtown, our big down. The midtown's probably going to expand to like down here, and then it's going to go big downtown all throughout here. These are just a bunch of fire helicopter stations. We had a big forest fire at one point. That was a while ago, actually. I can probably get rid of those. And then we have our golf course and the stadium and stuff. So we're going to continue building this out, this like midtown, and then we're kind of going towards dense suburbs, and then eventually it's just going to go to regular suburbs out through here. and you know, spread out a little bit further, not too much because it will get pretty big because we're going to go all around here as well. We're just kind of going neighborhood by neighborhood. But I think today's little neighborhood that we built today came out really nice. It looks really good. We have this little apartment complex that I put into, a little modular apartment complex. Forgot to talk about that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know if you enjoyed the build. You know, I definitely want to hear some feedback on how things are going, what you guys are thinking about everything that we're building. And yeah, so just let me know down below. Definitely leave a like down below as well, and please guys, subscribe if you've been watching my videos, if you like what you've been seeing. I post like 3 or 4 times a week. It's all modded, detailed City Skylines stuff, and if you have any questions for me, let me know down in the comments. But that is going to do it, guys. Again, I hope you enjoyed. We're going to jump into those cinematics for you now, and I'll see you in the next one.